like it's been forever.
It's been a while.
I'm Yakini, Yaya.
I'm Tamika. You can call me Tamika.
And this is Tan, and we are
Not Your Normal
with a K.
So, today we are talking about what we've heard about a high value man. We're just going to talk about the man, or do we want to talk about a high value person?
We're going to talk about high value people.
High value people.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're definitely going to do both.
Okay.
For sure.
Let's get it.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, my goodness. It's been a while since we filmed, and this is long overdue. So much has happened in the world since we've been together last, so it's a lot to talk about, but we're definitely going to get into this whole high value conversation because it's controversial, no?
Yeah.
Apparently. I'm here to learn because I guess I'm living under a stone.
So we'll let you
I
go
don't-
first then. What is your experience with this high value conversation?
I have not had one. So I'm kind of wondering where all of this is coming from. Is it like something that went viral? Does someone have a discussion? What's the deal with high value? Why is that a topic all of a sudden? Because
That's a good question. To me, it seems like men are asking to be valued as much as a woman. And
Okay.
for women, they are being challenged to be, I guess, their greater selves. And people are, I guess, dating more consciously. So that's something that comes up. It's like, are you worthy of my time? Because this is how I categorize myself. Because I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Usually it's, being independent or, whatever it is. But my thing with the whole term, I feel like it causes division. And it forces people to look down on others and assume that someone understands what that means when they just throw the title out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a high value, blah, 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 so you don't have this. And it seems to be connected to a lot of material things.
That's interesting.
What do you
So
think?
my experience with the high value thing, I didn't know anything about it until I got to Philadelphia and we were having a family, type of meal. It was a birthday, it was an intimate setting. And there was something said to the tune of, women need to be more of what they asking for. They expect too much and they ain't got shit going on for themselves. I was like, whoa, what is happening? What are you talking about? And then as the conversation evolved, it came about that it had originated from a certain, person or whatever, and that this was the overall sentiment. And I'm like, you really feel that way? Like you got a whole wife and you feel like this? Like,
so you took it like a negative. You took what he was saying as if it was a negative comment, or
I went through there's been an evolution of emotions. At the time, yes, I was offended.
Okay.
I was like, really? Like, whoa. Women need to. So I automatically,
Shut down.
when he said women need to, not even shut down,
You are
I took that on.
defense.
Yeah, I took that on. Like, oh, he's talking about me. Because he said women, that
Right.
fits,
Right.
I fit into that category. So wrong step right off the bat for me. So I've gone through an evolution of emotions about it. So my opinion about it has changed over time. But at that moment, I was offended. It felt misogynistic. It felt patriarchal. It felt, it just didn't feel right. And I couldn't even finish the whole dinner situation because I just, it was yucky for me. Yeah, it was yucky for me. So then that led me to go and look up a little bit more about what this was about. And as I looked more into it, I felt the same way that you did. Like, wow, this is awfully divisive.
It's
Divisive is the same thing that
judgmental.
came up for me.
Well, it just seems like you're judging a person based off of your personal qualities or what you set as your standards, which is unfair because the other person is that other person. Why are they held to a certain standard based on you? Like I don't think people look at they're looking at value as if like, if I put you on a scale, you're here, and then if I put her on the
Right.
scale, she's here.
Almost
What
like
makes
their
the difference
credit score.
between right? What makes the difference between a woman that's here and a woman that's here? And then it's almost like someone has to be the judge of what are those things that create the value.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And it's so
Who is that
judgmental.
someone? and
Exactly.
What qualifies
There's
them
no-
to be
not
the
one person-
someone
right.
that creates this scale
It's-
that we should all
right.
that we should all knock ourselves up against?
So it's almost like these women need to date only these men because of these qualities. And these men should date only these women. You should not be dating a woman that's here, or you should not be dating a man that's here. And it's like, when did that even become like the reason why you're with some, that just seems like a plan, a business deal. And maybe if that's how you look at relationships, maybe that's why. Maybe people are now looking at relationships as if they're a business transaction. What am I gonna get out of this deal? What do you have to bring me that can make me better?
Well, it is the culture. People are valuing themselves based on what they have, possessions.
It's like the Indian culture. Don't they do, in the Asian culture?
I'm gonna not be involved because I don't
Well,
know.
no, I'm just
I
saying,
think that's
like,
just
they-
a people thing.
No, but in their culture, some of them don't do it, but they have arranged marriages. And the arranged marriage is based off of what your family can provide to. It's in like Game of Thrones or any of those like you know,
A lot of
it's an
cultures do that,
ancient
though.
culture. It's not. It's like like you said, it's a culture, but it's ancient. This is not new. They've been doing this for centuries. Arranging people like
Yeah,
you
just like when
can
you have a
only marry
dowry.
in this. Yeah.
Right, right.
Just because of the family you come from, you are a high value. Well, now it's more or less like, it doesn't matter where you come from, but what do you have to bring? Like what's your dowry?
Well, I think it's important to define what that is for yourself as far as what you look at as valuable in a person, even if it's what they have. But I think right now, the way that conversation is going as far as being high valued, it just seems very specific. And I'm like,
What are the specifics?
That's what I was gonna say. Can we talk a little bit about that?
well, I was looking up a list. I'm gonna just read it off to you, and you tell me.
Oh, boy.
I'm just gonna scroll and wherever it stops because they list like I went to this website and they list 20 traits of what it is to be a high value person, and so the guy that wrote the article is a what did I tell
Like
you?
a relationship coach or something?
Yeah,
life
Right.
coach.
Relationship and life coach.
That's the new
Right,
thing.
right.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's just something to read. But anyway, okay. He knows how to seduce a woman. What?
So this list is for men. There are lists out there for women and what defines a high value woman, and this list is specifically
Okay,
for
I
men.
already don't want to read this.
Well, now you have to, because now you
Because-
just start. Just go through a couple of them.
Can we
Let's
just
get a
rewind and act like we never said it?
Sure, this is not your normal. That's what we do.
Okay, whatever.
Next.
I'll keep going. He doesn't, so this is for the man, you're right. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He smiles a lot. It is
Oh,
a
God.
positive.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
that
hate
list
this.
is
I
not-
hate this. And you see what I'm saying? Somebody is Googling this shit.
But not only that, it's so generic.
But it's 25 of them, y'all. Y'all not giving it a chance. She read 3.
That was enough.
The first two just seemed like
Bullshit.
he lives on the earth.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
okay.
Check.
So this is this one
He wears shoes. Check. This is the list of high
Oh my
value.
God.
Isn't everybody
It's
on
true.
that list?
So did you see a list for women?
So cavemen are not high value.
What,
men.
like, seriously, what
Do
are
not
these? What are
date
these?
a caveman.
Oh my God.
What are these high values?
Okay, let's see what makes a high value woman. That's a good one. Oh shit, I'm on airplane mode.
Well,
What I do know for sure is that whatever. What I do know for sure is before she looks that up is that a lot of what's being emphasized are material things.
Right.
It's there's this huge emphasis on I have.
that, but how you look too.
Yeah, but how do you treat
I mean, but that's
people?
still I have. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
there are
your
all
size.
these different facets of us. There is I can, right? I am.
Okay.
I have. And
I
I
like-
have is one of these things.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I might have to start using this term. Listen to what a high value woman is. Simply put, and it says this, simply put. Why the fuck it gotta say simply put when it comes to the woman?
Let's hear it.
I'm already mad. Okay. Simply put,
We won't be biased.
a high value woman is someone who knows her worth and exudes an energy that goes beyond the physical.
Oh.
A high value woman is not
Again.
just highly sought after by men, but is someone who knows her inherent value and can hold her own regardless of what people say or do to her.
Oh, well then
So this
I
is
qualify.
all
I thought I was
internal.
missing some things.
This is all internal, and it's all like subjective. Like it's not. It's
I
based
thought,
off
like-
the person. The energy thing,
High
though.
value man's salary.
Wait, huh?
Right.
Okay.
High value men aspire to be husbands, not boyfriends. They service, hold up, the top 10% of the income earners earn $113,000 per year. So you gotta make at least $100,000.
Now, see, I thought that applied to the woman too. I thought that for
Well,
the,
so apparently, then, if a man is not, so a man of the cloth, if he's a pastor or is a man of the people, is not of high value.
Okay, so let's read the definition of what makes a high value woman. Simply put, a high value woman is someone who knows her worth and exudes an energy that goes beyond the physical. A high value woman is not just highly sought after by men, but is someone who knows her inherent value and can hold her own regardless of what people say or do to her.
I mean, that sounds reasonable to me, but I'm not sure that that's what has been discussed in terms of what constitutes a high value woman, because it had a lot to do with her salary,
To me,
her
that can
physical
go for both
body, her age,
men
the
or
number of
women.
children she had. Like
Oh,
these were the
really?
things that were being
Oh,
discussed.
so
like,
that's
so
what I
you're-
need to hear, because
Yeah,
this
so,
just
yeah,
seems.
so
this is
basically you wouldn't be able to qualify to really just have whoever you want because you're over a certain age, you have a certain amount of children. Yeah, and you know, I'm not, you know, obviously I'm not in your pockets, but there's this income that you're supposed to have too. And therefore, if you're not meeting these standards, then you can't just have who you want. You got to kind of settle for who you can get. That's the sentiment of the conversation.
I
Girl,
mean,
you just made my blood boil.
no, but you know what
I
though?
wish a motherfucker would.
But you know what
Tell
though?
me.
When you look at it that way, it's so telling of the person. It's so telling of that person because to me, it just points out all of the failures that you see in yourself. That you are saying that this person has to have all of these things because those are the things that matter the most to you for some reason. It's not because of her. You don't even know any of these, but because of you. So to me, that's so telling of the other person because a man, woman, whatever. But those are things that you're lacking in yourself. That's why you're projecting those onto someone else. Because it's like, I don't want to ever have to deal with that. I don't want it because I've dealt with that before. I don't want to deal with that. So I need a woman that's okay.
I don't even want to date anybody that uses these terms.
Exactly. Which is fine. Like saying that, I'm
the
like,
moment you say this to me, like, oh, I'm hot or I'm looking for, I'm gonna be like, nope.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I just need you to be I need you
Person.
to be the best you can be. Period.
a good person.
A good person. Taking care of your shit.
Respectful.
Well, that was one of the questions that I wrote because all of these things are relative. Even when you say a good person, that's going to vary from person to
Right.
person. What is value? Like, what is this hype? Let's talk about what that means because obviously there are things that you do value in a man. And one of the
Yeah.
things that comes up is his salary. I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I'm not going to date you. You make too much money. No,
No, I'm gonna be like, are you good with your money?
Thank you.
You could
And
make
I
a
was
whole
just
lot of money
thinking
and
that.
don't know how to do like.
And don't ever have any.
Okay, great. You
Right.
make a bazillion dollars or whatever,
Who
but you spend $1
cares?
trillion.
Right.
You are broke.
Or you got all this money and you're an asshole.
Right.
Yeah, is it worth it?
No.
No, that
No.
having or I should say making that kind of money does not mean like that should not be the value. It's what you do with what you have. If you do good with what you have, then it doesn't matter.
So because these things have been defined so much in other places, let's talk about it here. What do we consider to be high value? So for me, spirituality. God, a man of faith. A man that has frequent conversations with whoever and whatever and whichever he deems to be God. That to me is of extreme importance because that kind of opens for me the gateway to kind of play with a whole bunch of other stuff.
I agree.
Money mindset means more to me than the actual amount in his account. If he knows who and whose he is, then I'm okay if there's nothing in the account, but if he has the right money mindset, then yes.
Right.
So it's not the money, but the mindset is definitely of high value
Right.
to me.
I agree.
Health, fitness, I could appreciate that. I definitely can't do anything other than that. If that makes any sense.
She don't want to buy fat.
It's not what
She
I
just
said.
said I'm not working out.
Health and fitness, because there are many fat fit bodies. And
You're
I'm
right.
down for it. I love myself a teddy bear, so no. But health and fitness, and to me that's self-love. But that goes right back to that spirituality because it just seems like when a man loves God, whatever, whomever,
Well, when a
whichever-
man feels like there's someone above him that is taking care, like that
Taking
kind
care
of,
of him?
yeah, because it's someone he has to answer to. That a man that knows that there's someone that he has to answer to because he's accountable for what he does to someone. That is that spirituality because that is what makes you do good. You know you're accountable for taking care of your kids, your family, your wife, and all of that. That's spiritual, whatever you call that person that you're accountable to someone. You know, like some people see God in their spouse. They're accountable to them for how they behave and how they like.
I like the accountable thing. You know, I get a little squirmish about that because that sounds like, judgment when you don't do it right.
Well, no, accountable means that they see they do not want to do wrong or they do not want to do anything because to me, spiritual love, like that's where it comes from. It's love of yourself, love and empathy for other people and
Yes.
things like so being accountable for those things.
Yeah.
Taking care of the people that you are now amongst, regardless of who they are. Like that is above anything, money, all that.
So that's high value to me.
Yeah.
What you think? What's high value for you? Like, since we've been doing all this defining about high value, what does it mean for you? And let's talk about how it varies from person to person.
I need respect. It's so important to me. And I would really prefer, I know some situations, like certain men didn't get to have like relationships with their mothers, but just seeing the difference between those that like adore their moms versus those that don't, I look for that. I'm like, okay, what is, you hear people say it, you've heard it all your life. How does he treat his mom, but I didn't know how important that was until I really just paid attention, I don't know, so.
What you're
that's the
saying
first
is
thing
very
that comes,
powerful.
right.
What you're talking about is a man that really recognizes who we are and who
The
you are as a
power
woman.
of a woman.
Yes, a man that truly recognizes that, and that is not easy to find. I think
not
that's
easy
extremely
to find.
valuable.
And it brings me back to this high value conversation because a lot of the men that I hear, talk about how they're high value men have, just expressed this sentiment where basically they need a woman to bow down to them too. Basically. I mean, I can't really say if that's all the way how they feel, but that's how it comes off to me. And
As
it just,
they want to be sought after. Like, I'm not doing the chasing. You gonna have to work for
yeah,
me.
they want, like, a lot of them are saying they want to be treated in that way, you know, which just feels more like ego. And then it's like, okay, but you're so busy talking about what you're worth, but are you even acknowledging someone else's worth because you're so hung up on what you're bringing?
Yourself.
Yeah,
grown.
to me, it just feels like it just deals with more ego.
I mean, how sexy is it though when a man can have all those things and recognize how incomplete he is without a woman,
That's sexy.
and then intentionally seek her out? Like, come on.
There's no way a man.
What do you have? What's valuable for you?
Well, my thing is the respect. And then like everything that you said about the mom and how you are with family and to me, our values have to match what things we value together. Like, even if it's not the exact same things, I can definitely get with what you're saying. Like the
So
things
y'all
that
like
you
those
value.
dudes that be like, "What's up, queen? What's up,
Oh,
goddess?
Grand Rising, my sister.
Peace to the goddess."
Peace to the God.
Meanwhile, I got a white girlfriend in the back. Whatever.
That's another show now. That's
that is
another
another
show.
Oh,
That is
Lord.
another show.
Lord have mercy.
Cause I'm Mariah. The Asians too.
Oh,
Whatever.
goodness.
That too, yeah.
Oh God,
Um,
different show.
But no,
You said something about this subject made you fume. I kind of remember what made me fume. Do you remember what
The
pissed you
value?
off about this value conversation?
I think that's really what it was.
The
Like most of the men
misogynistic,
who bring it
the
up,
judgmental.
yeah, are just like, well, it's almost. I almost feel like they're going through my purse.
I just feel like I don't like.
Like,
no,
oh,
you're right.
Oh, so you gonna keep your gum in this compartment?
Right.
Now you get a two, bitch. Like,
No.
what are we saying, really? But I understand because I do feel like a lot of us do date down.
But that's being judgmental. What is down? Like homeless?
What does that
I-
mean?
Hey,
I mean,
homeless.
Okay, so, but to me,
But-
that goes back to being responsible.
I was gonna say, but you know what? If you want to live on the street and that guy has like the best tent on the block,
Again, it's being responsible, being able to take care of, like, if you're homeless, are you able to maintain a family, a household, and things like those things?
well, she may not be looking for that.
Well, if she's able
And
to
I
take
think
care of
that's
her,
the
then
bottom
that's
line is
high value.
you need to be clear on what you're looking for, and that's it.
That's the thing, because to me, the trigger thing for me when you guys are talking is that someone else is telling me what's supposed to be valuable to me. You are telling me what I'm supposed to value. That's what bothers
But
me.
he's also making an assessment because you're this
Who
age.
is he?
The person that
Yeah,
started this
whatever.
whole topic.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
and
okay.
don't make no mistake about it. It's not just a person. There's this huge following, and I think that's what the concern is. That there's the huge proportion of men out there that have the same sentiment. So the thing is there's this judgment based on my age, based on the fact that I've been married, based on the fact that I've had a child. You know, that puts me in this place where I can't necessarily just want the man, you know, that I have in my mind. You gonna have to just settle for this because this is what you're worth now, considering all these things.
That is fun.
You know, and
That
we're
is
talking.
also
and
false.
there are things like, what is your?
Because there are plenty of women that have been married before, have had children, and marry some very valuable men that take care of them, that make sure that they're happy. It's the
Absolutely.
men that don't have women
But there are literally things
that cry like little bitches about high value women. They make
Right.
that excuse. It's because they're not good enough. That's why I'm single. I have not found the right woman. That is why I'm nigga, it's because you ain't shit. That's why. You're very judgmental. You don't care about anybody but yourself. So you're gonna be by yourself.
There are literally inquiries like, how tall are you? What
Again.
are your measurements?
Again.
What is your weight?
Again.
These are literally some of the questions, like to get to the point of assessing the value, y'all. And it's really really, really sad. So for me, I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to just kind of pass it over. There is nobody in the world just like me. There's nobody in this world that's going to turn up my same fingerprints or my same voice pattern or my same iris print. I'm individually unique. Not only is there nobody in this world just like me, there's never been anybody just like me from before. And God damn it, it won't be nobody else like that in the future. I'm very, very special and unique. And that's what I'm talking about knowing yourself, knowing your own value, who's and who you are, where you come from. And then can't nobody diminish it, no matter what the fuck they say. You see?
Not a one person.
Yeah, and I believe that not just about myself, but about you, and you, and you. Namaste.
All right.
Namaste. Hey,
Namaste, my niggas.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming to your kind, whatever you gonna have.
Drink the
I'll be
tea.
at the gathering
Drink
here
the
with
tea.
you.
Please
Gonna have
come.
to
Two
say.
more, that's all it
Smoke the
takes.
trees.
Hey, and on that note, this
Yeah.
has been
Not Your Normal
with
with
a
a
K.